Good morning. Like I had mentioned, we're going to do a few videos on some terms that I've used. Okay, so here they are, and let's see how we go about it. Now, the first one is goods. What are goods? Goods are something that provides, any good is something that provides its holder some kind of satisfaction, and therefore it has utility. Now, we'll talk about utility in another session or in another video. There are different kinds of goods, and different classifications can be arranged and also identified. We can differentiate between consumption goods and which are durable and or perishable goods. And apart from consumption goods, we also have something known as capital goods. Classification depending in responsiveness to incomes also changes, like normal goods and inferior goods. And to price changes, we also have some other classification, like ordinary goods and Giffen goods. It's Giffen goods. So these are the kind of classifications and more that can be made. Let's go into principally three or four names that I've taken out here, types of goods, like normal goods, inferior goods, ordinary goods, and Giffen goods. Normal goods are those whose demand increases due to a rise in income levels. Okay, having therefore a definite positive correlation, which implies that there's another term I'm going to use now, which implies that elasticity of this kind of goods is always higher than zero. We'll be able to explain this later when we talk about elasticity and how how it's calculated and all. And we'll see this situation of various goods, various things as far as elasticity is concerned on graphs, using graphs. Normal goods are divided into two categories: superior goods and necessary goods. Superior goods, which are also known as luxury goods, are those goods that displace the demand of inferior goods after a rise in consumers' income. Okay, they are a kind of normal goods as the demand increases when income does as well. But the difference is that they occupy the share, they take over and occupy a share of the inferior goods that are desired by consumers. The elasticity of this kind of goods uh, is always higher than one. So remember these. We're going to talk about them later also in our future chapters or future videos. And after superior goods, which is a subclassification of normal goods, there is also something known as necessary goods. Now, these are those goods whose demand increases when income does. However, the increase in demand is less than proportional. So, the increase in demand is less than proportional to the rise in income. So, if based on the kind of proportionate income increase that you have, the requirement of this good or the demand for this type of goods is not equal to the proportion of the income. It's less than always. Elasticity of this type of goods is always between 0 and 1. Okay, now we finished off with normal goods. We're going into inferior goods. Inferior goods are those whose demand moves in opposite direction to the income variation of consumers. This occurs because consumers' preferences change to other goods that are more highly regarded or valued or desired, more or less, not needed but desired. Now we can classify these into two types of goods: ordinary goods and Giffen goods. Now, what are ordinary goods? Ordinary goods are those goods whose demands move in opposite direction to the price variation. This means an increase in the price of the good will mean a decrease of its demand, and the other way around. And the decrease in the price of good will mean an increase in the demand. Okay, examples will come to later. We also have something known as Giffen goods. Giffen goods are those goods whose demand moves in the same direction as the price variation. This meaning raising the price of a good will increase its demand, and the other way around. Decreasing the price will decrease the demand. The explanation to this kind of goods always comes from the snob effect. It's known as the snob effect. The more expensive a good is, the less people can afford it, and therefore becoming more precious and highly valued. So, this is about goods in a nutshell for now.